Good evening everyone and welcome along to League of Europe. We are here tonight for F1 22 action. It's Season 9, it's Division 1, it's round number 15 of the Championship as we take in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix from, of course, the Jeddah Corniche circuit. My name is James Hay, going to be taking to the stream of always, of course, on this fine Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Regardless, we are here tonight and we are here for a very intriguing race here with only 3 rounds to go in the Championship of League of Europe. We've got Saudi Arabia, then it's Belgium, then it could be the title decider potentially in Brazil, and that title decider could be between 2 drivers in particular, which I'll run through the standings now. Selly leading the way on 180 points. Of course, he is not attending for the rest of the season. He still leads the championship, and there is a possibility, believe it or not, if Campbell and Cucumber do not DNF the final 3 races, there's a potential possibility that Selly could end up winning the championship, which is absolutely mad. But the way the form has been going, and because Selly has not been turning up, Campbell there in second on 178, Cucumber there in third on 153, there is 25 points between Campbell and Cucumber coming into tonight. Out there in fourth on 129 is not entirely out of things. If he can shoe up his race starting, certainly he could have been the title contender, I think, even though he joined, second round of the championship, I think. He joined in China. That was his first race of the season. He took that race win, of course, in China. Rocco there in 5th on 101. We've got Yildirim in 6th also on 101. Nathan in 7th on 100. Wouter there in 8th on 93. Gary in 9th on 77. And then Pease there in 10th on 68 points, with Jensen, Verstappen, Rick, Jeroen and Jekyll top 15. Killer, Packer, Matthias, Slash and Jeroen, the 20 drivers that have scored points, as well as Ghost Falcon, Dari, Ghost Falcon and Gladbach are the other 3 that have scored points so far this season. And with Campbell obviously having that 25-point lead, he was second last week, of course, in the Netherlands. And if you weren't here for the Netherlands, then what did you miss? Nathan won, and it was a fantastic win, I've got to be honest, from that. A Ferrari masterclass in the end, a 1-2 for Ferrari. They now take the Constructors' standings as well, going into the final 3 rounds of the Championship. Of course, the Constructors I don't think can be wrapped up until we get to possibly Brazil, which is the final round of the season. But Nathan did win because of an absolute Ferrari masterclass. Campbell there in second, Cucumber there in third, and as a result, Campbell and Cucumber separated by 25 points coming into tonight, which is the main important battle, I think, to ride on board with so far into tonight. And looking through, if I can get the team standings up, I thought it was on the same spreadsheet, and my apologies. Ferrari lead the way on 278 points, Mercedes in second on 242, and with only Gladbach here so far in the Mercedes team, it looks like Ferrari are going to be taking the whitewash of the Constructors' standings as well. Mercedes there in second on 242. They are 36 points, I believe, off coming into tonight's race here in Saudi Arabia. Then a big jump down with a real fight now beginning to happen for third. Haas there in third on 169. AlphaTauri there in fourth on 150. Williams in fifth on 144. So there's only 25 points separating between third and fifth in the Constructors. Adding to that, Aston Martin in sixth on 126. McLaren in 7th on 117. And Red Bull in 8th on 115. It really brings an interesting fold, I think, into the mix. Possibly one of those teams, at least one of those teams, could wrap up third in the Constructors. Alfa Romeo in 9th on 100 and Alpine in 10th on 97. They need a bit of a mountain to climb, but they're not entirely out of it either for third position. That battle for third, it seems to be the best of the rest, as we have seen in recent days and recent weeks, of course, in the Formula 1 season early on. Let's have a run through, though, the track map in question. I will just load it up on my end, so I have not got a track map on the right-hand side of me. But what I do know about this track, it's 6.1 kilometres and then 3.8 miles, and it's 27 turns away now. Drivers out on track. The 3 DRS zones, which are not actually highlighted on this map. 1 down the start-finish straight in towards turn number 1. 1 down in towards turn number 19, 20, 21. That bar just before turns 22 and 23 at the end of the middle sector, and then the other one, of course, being up the hill in towards turn 27 on the run-up in towards that corner in D. Good evening to Montana, who's tuning into the chat, saying that I am Mr. Hames Jed. Thank you very much for that. I will remember that when I potentially leave at the end of the season. have I let slip what my announcement could be in a couple of weeks' time? Who knows? But League of Europe, of course, regardless, is going to provide a very, very good end to the season. I know for a fine fact I will. And we've got 16 drivers, which is better than last week, of course, from the Netherlands. I think the Netherlands factor coming into play there, coming into tonight. But we are here in Jeddah. And it is normally a track where there's a lot of overtaking, there is a lot of on-track action. It will keep me, certainly on my tender hooks. I've got a full bottle of water next to me in the commentary box here tonight. So, hopefully I will not go through that too quick, because my voice, I am sure, is gonna be one of the mainstays, I think, for tonight's commentary. And without me, you've got nothing. You have got nothing. But we are here, as I say, in Jeddah. Potential favourites for pole position, without not being here tonight as well, actually opens things up potentially for Cucumber, Campbell, Nathan. I'm thinking those are the three. I think they're going to be right up there. Yildirim as well. I know he's been quite quick around here. I wouldn't discount him out for pole position. There is a few that could potentially get pole position. Even somebody like Gary or Killer. Big outsiders, I think. But some of them could easily, one of them two could easily get into the top 5, put himself on towards the front rows of the grid, and then try and end up, of course, in terms of the battles, of course, down towards turn 1 and on lap 1 as well. Montana saying in the chat, I can't leave. Yeah, there will be an announcement about my future in a couple of weeks' time. I'm just going to turn down my game sound on my mic end, so apologies if you're hearing that coming through on my end as well. But right on board with the drivers who are now coming out on track. Yeah, I have been thinking, to be honest, I'll just be candid right now, I have been thinking about leaving at the end of the season for League of Europe. Nothing against the league, it is just purely a personal decision, and with the opportunities that are going to be coming out, I think, on my end in terms of commentary, I think it makes sense that I've been doing this for 8 seasons. I've been becoming part of the furniture. I think it's time for somebody new to come in. But you've still got me at least for the next 2 weeks, and possibly onto the start of the game cycle as well. It depends on how things unfold. We are getting a bit of action, by the way, out on track early on. Packers just nearly put, I think, Nathan in the wall there, which I think is not entertaining whatsoever. But if that's a sign of things to come, who knows? Who knows? But Packer and Nathan are having a little bit of fun out on track early on here in Jeddah. Haven't even reached the start of their laps, but now coming through 22 and 23. But yeah, I've been thinking about leaving League of Europe, even from last season. I've got to be honest, I was in 2 months whether I want to do another season of it, especially on this game cycle. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more opportunities. I'm literally trying to split down my commentaries, I think, to 3, if I can. WR, PSGL and EML, I think, are going to be the main 3 I'm going to be doing moving forward. Packer, anyways, on the run down in towards turn number 1. On the run in toward the left-hander of turn number 1, and then to the right-hander of turn number 2. He's got a car of a Haas just coming out the pit lane. I think that's Yildirim just coming out of the pits. Pease is in the pit lane, of course. And actually, we've got Gladbach, I think, has got a qualifying ban, and there's somebody else, which I'll come on board with in just a second. But Packer coming to the left-hander now of turn number 8. 29, 10, 11. To the left-hander here of 11. Then to 12, then to 13. And the run now down in towards the left-hander of turn number 13. That has to get out of the way. Yildirim in the first sector. 32.3 in the first sector. Not too bad at all. Actually, from Packer running through the first sectors. He now comes through turn 13. Very nice negotiation there by Packers. He runs now through in towards 14 and 15. Very tricky corners these. Gladbach is one of the ones that had a qualifying ban. Packers just invalidated coming through 16 and 17. Very similar to where Shazoo Tom actually did this in WR Console Tier 1 and in Legacy Division actually a couple of weeks ago as well. Very, very easy to do. But Packer, 1 minute 0.8 in the middle sector. We could see the odd 59 potentially in that middle sector. If we do, drivers are going to be towards 26s. If not, it'll be 27s, 28s, I think, for pole position here tonight as Packer is on the run towards turn 27. As I say, he's invalidated. Yildirim is not on a lap at this stage. I think Nathan is the one behind him that is on the run. I think he is clean on the run as well. The Ferrari coming from the final corner. On the run to the line though with Packer, and this would have been a 28.3, so very respectful to start off. That would have been. Nathan's in pit lane because he's also invalidated. Campbell's also invalidated, and Gary now goes quickest with a 28 flat. Take a photo, it'll last longer because Gary out on top. Killer in second, Packer there in third, and Rejoice at the Irishman currently on pole position. Might be knocked off by J. Cole, and he is. As I say, wouldn't last long. Jekyll out on top, Gary in second, Verstappen there in third. 0.2 of a second between himself, Gary and Verstappen. 0.3 of a second, in fact, covering the three drivers that have so far set on laps. Rocco's purple in the middle sector. 102.5 though is a little bit slower compared to what we've seen so far here tonight. Killer there jumping into fourth as well with a 128.4. J. Cole, Gary, Verstappen currently in the top three. Rocco is going to be slowest, I think, out of everyone. On the run now down in towards turn number one once again. 30.1. Not the sort of lap time I think Rocco should be setting around here. He should be around the mid 128. Lower end of the 128, I think, so probably around the mid-pack as we get through the session. Packer is back on a lap, 102.3, but he's not respectful in the first sector. Cucumber is on a lap, I believe, through the final corner. Wipes goes fourth. Cucumber, though, may be the man to stick it on pole position for now. He's going to be quicker than Jacob by an absolute country mile, 27.2. That is more like it in terms of the lap times we should be seeing around here. Cucumber out on top, Jacob there in second, Gary there in third. Campbell, 32 flat, dead on through the first sector. Now through the middle sector, rolled the curves a little bit too greedy there through 16 and 17, now towards turns 22 and 23, but Cucumber, J. Cole, Yield Dream now the top three as a 1 minute 0.2 in the middle sector, so matching actually Cucumber in that middle sector is Campbell, perhaps the favourite for pole position. Has been Scotsman now, the potential inheritor to the throne of being the champion this season. Campbell down towards the left-hand return 27. Go shakes that very nicely indeed. Gets in on the apex. This track apparently has changed in the beta that I've been seeing some video clips of. Saudi Arabia, apparently that exit has changed a little bit. Campbell though in second. Good lap time from him. That was his second run on that set of soft compounded tyres. So actually he's going to be on a fresh set when he gets onto his next run, as will everyone else of course. But Campbell maybe will keep a set of softs potentially for the race. And knowing a set of softs around here, they only last around 7 or 8 laps, and they're normally good only for 2 or 3 of those 7 or 8 laps. So Campbell, if he does decide to keep a fresh set of soft compounded tyres, then in second position, I think it's a pretty nice thing to do. But in the race, they'll probably be worthless because the softs are not good around here whatsoever. Nathan now on the run down and towards turn number 1. I think he's just started up on a run once again. Of course, race winner last time out in the Netherlands. Cucumber, Campbell, J. Cole currently the top 3 here in Division 1. Division 3 is also live, by the way. Just Games and Mr. Oldskill, who is actually in the chat there. Good evening to you. Hope you are doing very well, my friend. As Nathan comes through turn 11. A little bit hesitant, I'm going to be honest, there from Nathan. Through the first sector split. 32.3 is respectful. That looked a very hesitant first sector, though. I normally see drivers absolutely flinging their way through the curves. And I've seen a 31.9, 31.8 in the first sector around here from the real top guys, the Esports Challengers guys around here. And these guys are a little bit off that pace, don't get me wrong, but we should be seeing that. If they really want to be committed on their laps, they should go through the middle, through the first sector, absolutely gung-ho. And Russell, Nathan in the middle sector, 1 minute 0.7 in the middle sector. He's purple on his run, but he's only going to go ahead of J. Cole if he's lucky, and I think it's going to be very tight actually between himself and J. Cole for this third position. Nathan might benefit in terms of a bit of slipstream in qualifying. Of course, slipstream is allowed here in League of Europe, unlike other leagues like PSGL and WOR. Nathan now comes through the final cut the corners on the run toward the line. Maybe go ahead of J. Cole. He doesn't, goes fourth. 27.9, and that hesitancy in the first sector. If he wasn't hesitant through that first sector, it could have easily been a 32 flat, and that could have easily been third, possibly towards the range of Campbell, I think, in terms of that lap. So Nathan has got a lot of improvement to find, I think, if he wants to be up there. He normally does prefer this track, I think, in race trim compared to qualifying, so watch out for him as we go through the sessions. Gary and Verstappen, I believe, are just starting on runs, as is Packer, who was actually furthest on a run at this stage. Coming out through the right-hander of turn 5, then through the left-handers of 6, 7, through the right-hander now turn number 8. And this is more likely through the first sector actually from Packer. Even Ryan Ball compared to Nathan, that is more on it through the first sector. Matched by a 32.2 in the first sector, exactly where you want to be, I think, certainly from Packer's perspective. He's there in 11th position. He's there in 12th as well. Doing a good job, though, is Packer at this stage. The Red Bull just got out of the way on the left-hand side, I believe, is Killer on an out lap as Packer now comes through 16 and 17. Very nicely done. Again, right in on that curve, that inside curve, you take too much and put all four wheels over, you will invalidate, and Packer just about backed off, just about got through that without any hesitancies, and now comes the middle sector. 1 minute 0.7, but it's a better 1 minute 0.7 compared to what we saw with Nathan. He's got to go and think and split the pair, I think, between J. Cole and Nathan at this stage. But I'm really befuddled by why drivers are not using the slipstream. The slipstream effect around here gains you around 3-4 tenths per second down the straight. So if they really want to go for it, they can use up a little bit of slipstream and then play the team game as Packer now comes toward the line, and he doesn't actually split the pair. He goes slower than Nathan. That to me seemed quicker than Nathan's lap time, but as they always say, yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. Yildirim in 6th, Gary there in 7th. Gary now on the run to the line, the Irishman. And he goes 3rd. Much better from Gary, 27.5. Very nicely done indeed. Montana saying in the chat, slipstreaming is awkward here because of the fast corners. Yeah, but down the straight and towards turn number 1, it can gain you around 4 tenths of a second. Down and towards turn 13 as well. If you judge it right coming out of turn 12, on the run towards turn 13, you can gain a little bit of time there. It's only about 2.5 tenths, 3 tenths per second, but you can gain time, and that is why I think drivers should use up a little bit of slipstream, just try and play a bit of a tactical game around here. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Cucumber out on top, Campbell there in 2nd, Gary there in 3rd, June there in the chat saying whoever's on control on this chat deserves a hug, as Pease is the other one, I believe, who had a qualifying ban. He is retired in the session. Gladback as well, retiring out of the session as well. He's got a qualifying ban, as I believe he did in the 10 last week. So followed on basically from what happened 2 weeks ago. Campbell's first sector, oh my word, 31.7 in the first sector from Campbell. Holy crap, holy. Brilliant first sector from Campbell. If he keeps this up, this is going to go 26s. Coming through 16 and 17, Scotsman's on it. Coming through the little chicane now, 16 and 17, now down the back straight, opens up the DRS. This is huge from Campbell. If he's around a 59.9 in the middle sector, he's on a huge lap. 1 minute flat in the middle sector. Exactly where you want to be. Around on a lap here. Beautifully done out of 23. Now running past the Red Sea on the right-hand side. Gary Yildirim there 3rd and 4th. But Campbell at the minute is going to put Cucumber under pressure. Cucumber's actually behind him. Out on track. And he's invalidated. So Campbell now to apply the pressure to the Canadian. Now coming through the final couple of corners. This will be absolutely perfect from Campbell if he runs the line and goes quick as he should do, and he does. 27.1, a tenth and a half clear of Cucumber, who's invalidated on that lap. He's coming back in the pit lane. There's the pressure, my man, and the pressure could get to Cucumber, that invalid lap, and now Campbell now ahead of his championship rival. Remains to be seen. This is going to be an interesting qualifying session regardless of what happens. But Campbell out on top, Cucumber there in 2nd, 6 minutes ago in this qualifying. Nathan just starting up on another run as well, coming out of turn number 1. But Campbell now, that pressure definitely now applied to Cucumber. And Cucumber, the NSX man, not sure how he's feeling in the party. Oh, as that Nathan gets very close to the wall there, to turn number 5. Not sure how Cucumber's feeling against potentially himself as absolute Nathan's all over the place. Coming through the first sector. Cucumber though, Nathan's better in the first sector, 32.1. Matthias there going 3rd, good luck from him. But now, I'm not sure how Cucumber is feeling in the party, but the pressure is definitely on. Certainly from the Canadians' perspective. Russell now coming in towards the right-handers of 16 and 17. And invalid through 16 and 17. Absolutely typical. Slash, I believe, there went 8th position as well. Verstappen's just starting up on a run as well. Alp saying, okay, let's go there in the chat as well. Alp, I do not believe he's here unless he has joined in qualifying. Might be so. 5 minutes ago in the session. Campbell out on top, Cucumber in 2nd, Matthias there in 3rd. I believe Alp mentioned that he had to go in about an hour's time, so I'm not sure if we'll get the race finished in an hour. Might be on it though, but I believe Alp is missing here tonight. But Campbell out on top, Cucumber 2nd, Matthias there in 3rd. On board with Verstappen, coming out now through 16 and 17. He's just supporting Matt. He is just supporting Matt. I knew you were. I knew you were. I was thinking, yeah, you're going to come in banging the world record in online mode? Who knows? Campbell out on top. Cucumber 2nd, Matthias there in 3rd. Verstappen's middle sector, respectful. Up there with Matthias, up there with Gary, up there with Yildirim. So this is a good lap coming in here from the Dutchman. Verstappen, of course, looking to try and put it beside Russell. I'm not sure if anybody saw what happened in sprint shootout a little bit earlier on in the sprint race. between Verstappen and Russell. There was certainly not good words said between them. Hopefully our Verstappen and our Russell can behave better than those. Now Verstappen is on the run toward the line, and a good lap puts him behind J. Cole, ahead of Russell, which is absolutely typical of what I've just been saying there. But Verstappen there in 8th, Russell there in 9th, Slash there in 10th, and as it stands, Verstappen and Russell are starting together on the what, 4th, 5th row of the grid at this stage. But they're stomped beside each other out on track, which could be interesting. Of course, our guys are much well behaved compared to the adolescent, egotistical F1 drivers of Max Verstappen and George Russell, who clearly, with their fan bases, clearly do not want to let anything go. But Campbell out on top, Cucumber second, Matthias there in third, Packer's back on an outlap, as is Cucumber. We'll follow the man in second, because I want to see how he goes through in his preparation lap. And of course, drivers sometimes, I've been seeing this in recent weeks, and it's where they get stuck in neutral gear. Coming out of the pit lane, with about 3 minutes to go, Cucumber's not doing this, but I've seen drivers sticking out of neutral, coming out of the pit lane. Around a track like this, you can burn a high fuel load quite easily. So I'm very surprised to see, actually, drivers not doing that here tonight. There could be the odd one or two that we don't get covered in qualifying. But Cucumber is going to be one of the ones to watch out for in this session. That 27.2, it's currently between Campbell and Cucumber. Matthias there in third, by the way, is absolutely punching above his weight, I think, so far. If Nathan can get that first sector sorted out, he's going to be going third, I think, with this lap. He has got a better lap in him. I know for a fine fact he has. Rocco there down in 13th, he's got a better lap in, potentially. But it all remains to be seen what is going to happen. Patrick Kenworthy, Mr. Oxide Nova, the Division 2 driver, once upon a time was racing Montana around the streets of Saudi Arabia and around the streets of other tracks as well. But he's there in the comment section. Good evening to you. Hope you are doing very well and looking forward to seeing how you get on in Division 2 tonight. Cucumber coming through the final corners, and the NSX man now preparing up for a lap. Packer down in 11th is the first one coming through turns 1 and 2 as well. So we'll try and follow with his lap as well on the mini map. But Cucumber now in towards turn number 1 and 2. Oh, a little bit too speedy there towards turn number 1. Slightly corrected himself out of 2, through 3, and then towards the very tight left-hand of turn number 4. We'll turn the timing tower from the left-hand side just to get a full view of this track as Cucumber now comes through 5, 6, then through turn 8 now, and then through turn 9, and through the left-hand of turn number 10, out of 11 and 12, and now through in towards the left-hand of 13. Beautiful in the first sector from Cucumber, 31.9. Exactly where you want to be, but considering he's nearly a tenth and a half off from Campbell in the first sector, this is a big lap from Cucumber regardless. He's got to find something in the middle sector and in the final sector. What he's going to find though ahead of him is traffic, and if they don't get out of the way, Cucumber's going to have a big effect here. The Alpine will get out of the way first on the left hand side. He's got as well, I believe, Campbell ahead of him, and as well as a Williams who is slowing down in the middle sector. This could get quite tight from Cucumber. 1 minute point 2, he's purple in the middle sector on his own lap, but he's not improving on what we saw with Campbell in that middle sector. So he's purple out of everyone in that middle sector. There is the Williams on the right hand side. Campbell is staying ahead of him, does not want to give this man slipstream whatsoever. Campbell preparing for a lap. Cucumber now through the final couple of corners. He might get the faintest slipstream potentially off Campbell. On the run toward the line now with the Aston Martin. The Canadian, is he going to go quicker than 27.1? No, 3,000th improvement, and that is not good enough so far for pole position from Cucumber, and that is him done. Matthias slides his way there, coming out of turn 9s and 10, then out of 11 and 12. Matthias in the first sector, really on it, 31.8 in the first sector. Big first sector from Matthias, looking to try and give a bit of shock waves to the rest of the field. Campbell coming through the first sector as well. Running ball with him coming through this part of the lap. Absolutely hunkered down on that apex. 31.6 is quicker. He's going to go quicker regardless, I think. Gary there third. Yildirim there in fourth. Matthias' middle sector is looking good. 31.8, remember, in the first sector. Middle sector, he's up there. 1 minute flat. Matthias coming in absolutely big time with this lap. He could go ahead of Gary. Certainly, maybe even ahead of Cucumber if he's lucky. But Matthias is coming in for a huge lap here. Could be the one to try and spoil the party as he now comes in towards turn 27. Hard on the brakes. third gear maintained, coming through the corner, up to fourth, and now Matthias flies through the final corner, on the run to the line, a little bit sketchy, losing him time, all the run to the line now with Matthias. Could go third, he does go third, good lap time from him. Cucumber's already invalidated, Campbell though is on a huge lap, he's still battling out of that middle sector, coming out through the final couple of corners. He knows he's done enough. Will he have done enough though? Nathan's backed off his lap, he's not improving. Campbell now on the run to the line, maybe into 26ers, not quite, 27 flats from Campbell, but that is putting a statement out there to Cucumber in behind. Campbell's out on top, Campbell there in Cucumber there in second, Matthias there in third, Gary is fourth. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else on the lap time. Wouter's been in the wall somewhere out on track, he's got no front wing. Slash there going in 8th position was the only improvement I think in this session, and Verstappen's improving, but he's actually invalidated in that middle sector. But Campbell there out on top, Cucumber in second, Matthias there in third. Matthias the big shock I think in qualifying, very very good qualifying session from him. Seems like he's got more time potentially on his hands. Verstappen wouldn't have improved anyways on that lap either, but Campbell out on top, Cucumber in second, Matthias there in third, and Campbell in the end nearly 2.5 tenths clear of Cucumber. Alp saying in the chat it would have been a front row with a better turn 23 from Matthias. Yeah, that's why we lost it. It's so difficult as well, because I think he's running a little bit higher wings potentially compared to Campbell. That is not putting the downforce basically on the setup, and unfortunately for Matthias, he's there in third. Hopefully the drivers do retire in the pit lane, because there's going to be all sorts of cons potentially happening here out on track with the AIs. Wouter and Nathan have actually just came into the pit lane, so we are just waiting on Wouter to retire, and there we go. So we're not going to get a restart or anything like that, which is good. But Saudi Arabian Grand Prix qualifying is done. We'll run you through the full grid order in a moment. It's Campbell out on top by 2.5 tenths from Start again. Campbell out on top, Cucumber in second, 2.5 tenths separating with Matthias there in third. Gary there in fourth, with Gilbroom there in fifth. J. Cole there in sixth again, overperforming I think in that qualifying session. Good qualifying session from him. Wouter there in seventh, Slash there in eighth, Verstappen there in ninth, Russell there in 10th. Of course that is Nathan, starting behind Verstappen by 8 thousandths of a second. Where we've seen that one before. Rockwell there in 11th, Packer in 12th, Killer in 13th. He didn't really set a respectful lap at the end. Rockwell, by the way, did get into the low to 128 as I mentioned. He's there in 14th, Gladbach. And then Rick, who wasn't even mentioned in that qualifying session either. And I'll bring you up to date actually by who had qualifying bans, because I did forget to mention this a little bit earlier on in terms of the qualifying session. Let me have a look. It was Rick and Gladbach, sorry, it was Rick and Gladbach. So Pease actually didn't have a qualifying ban or anything, so it was okay from Pease's perspective. He just didn't get a lap time in. Gladbach and Rick, however, 15th and 16th, they started at the back of the field because of qualifying bans. And we are waiting, I think, on the drivers to ready it. I hope somebody's going to press the ready button right about now, because they are giving a little bit of time. I think we're going to get through this very, very quickly indeed. There's no safety cars around here. This race will be done in 40 minutes, so we could be done by 7:30 UK time, potentially, even with a race like this. But Campbell out on top, Cucumber there in second, Matthias there in third. Hopefully we do get the go-ahead in terms of qualifying, unless there is a frozen lobby, which there is. So we're going to restart. Absolutely typical. I was wondering why the 30-second countdown wasn't coming up. Somebody has decided to break the lobby. I can't leave the lobby either, which is even better. So I might have to be a part 2 of the stream, sadly. Verstappen's stuck on a loading screen. Absolutely typical. Well, hopefully a countdown will start soon on my end. I will stay on the screen right now before I have to try and restart. And Verstappen's actually now... There we go. It's corrected itself. There we go. So we are all good. And the lobby might crash as a result, but we are going to have a restart, I believe. So as soon as I get into the start screen here, then we will leave. And that will save me, of course, having to restart the game and restart the stream for you, lovely lot, which is a thing. But remember, coming into the championship tonight, we do remember Sully is out on top on 180 points, Campbell in second 178, and Cucumber there in third on 153 points coming into tonight. 25-point gap between Campbell and Cucumber, so it is going to be very, very interesting indeed. P saying he saved his tyres for absolutely nothing. Slash doing exactly the same thing as well, so that is a bit of a downfall potentially from their setups, but I think it's better that we just have a full restart in terms of the lobby. It's a shame. I wouldn't have wanted a restart of the lobby, but I think if the lobby crashes and there's no other way around it, then you have to. Then you have to, and hopefully we can get underway very, very soon. Indeed, and as soon as I get lobby invite, that'll be absolutely brilliant. I'm sure we will get that done though in due course. Keep me entertained in the chat while we are waiting for a lobby invite in. And did you know, as you can see on your screen, Ferrari's Charles Leclerc captured pole position. Pole position in Azerbaijan in 2022. Can he beat his 1 minute 41.359 in time trial? No. Definitely not. And also F1 23 is coming soon, which is actually a good thing to actually come on to, because I've been seeing leaked beta clips, let's just put it out that way, leaked beta clips from people on Twitter, but F1 23 is having a full reveal, of course, on the 1st of May, so that is in 2 days' time on Monday. What do you guys think? What would you guys want in the F1 23 game? I know for a fine fact what I would want, and that is just a working game, first and foremost. If it is a working game, then fantastic. But I have heard apparently that the traction is going to be, no traction is going to be a lot easier. Apparently I've heard as well that the setups are going to be slightly different compared to this current game cycle. So if that remains to be seen, that adds all of that. I know we're getting an updated HUD as well in terms of spectator cam, so that'll be fantastic, and updated graphics of course. It'll look very, very nice, I've got to say, on OBS run streams. But yeah, it is going to be very, very intriguing. And Montana saying different slipstream DRS and dirty air combination. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And honestly, I think from my perspective, we just want a working game, because I think the league racing community has been somewhat put on the back burner, I think, by Codemasters. They don't really care about the actual fact that League Racing has provided the likes of the F1 Esports Challengers guys this season, the likes of Smokey, for example, who's going to be going forward for WR and for F1 Esports Challengers next season. He wrapped up the title last night in WR Console T1. He's got a very bright future ahead of him. You've seen the likes of Jensen, who's been running here in League of Europe, and is now an F1 Esports Challengers man. Albeit he's further down the field, but he is still proving himself as an F1 Esports Challengers man, and these guys are challenging themselves, which is fantastic, because I think drivers just need to challenge themselves and just need to channel their inner mentality, and if they get that inner mentality right, it makes something very, very special. And the amount of people that I have seen, certainly from a PS side, but also from an Xbox side, because I've been doing cross-play for WR, the amount of guys that I've commentated on, honestly, over the past year, and now they're in F1 Esports Challengers, is absolutely mad, and I'm supporting each and every one of those people in terms of their success and in terms of how they're going to approach. Now, many of them will probably go to PC, but that is a good thing for the success, I think, of League Racing, and indeed for F1 Esports moving forward as well. And you never know, somebody like Cucumber here, somebody like KVR Alp, who might be there in the comment section, might be just the next best man on the F1 23 game. Even if Montana turned off no traction, no ABS, I think he would be an F1 Esports Challengers man, and I'm being very, very kind to the fact that that would be the case. But yeah, it is going to be very interesting, I think, for F1 23 moving forward. I know, as I said at the start of the stream there, I'm hoping to do 3 a week in terms of commentary. Absolutely no guilt for the fact that I think I'm probably going to get messages privately by saying, James, stay in LOE, we can have you for another season, which would be actually season 10 of League of Europe, which would be very nice indeed. So I have to think about a potential severance package to come out of retirement for next season. But yeah, it is going to be interesting regardless, I think, of how League of Europe is going to go forward. On the new game, I know from a TML perspective, and I know I mentioned this last week, that we are looking, or we're going to be running, I can't reveal what the release date is, just imagine it around the Canadian Grand Prix. You can probably pick up on when it is from that. But for TML, we're going to be running early testing just for crossplay, just to see how PS is as well. We're going to be running early testing on that. That's going to be done on there. Forza Brennan saying in the chat I should stay in LOE. I'll have a think about it. As I say, it's not confirmed. I just want more freedom, I guess, because you see me every single week, I think, just putting my heart and soul into every single country, even if it's a small league like LOE, even if it's like a small league like FRL, for example. Every single commentary I'm doing, I'm absolutely grateful for the support that I've received over the past year or so. But yeah, I really hope that this is not the end of the journey for LOE. Funky Chicken saying, new contract. Yeah, my current intention at the end of the season is to leave League of Europe at the end of this current season, so after the final race of the season. And that is just purely because I want to try and, of course, get into more paid commentary, real-life commentary as well. We saw what happened with George Morgan. I want to try and follow in the footsteps of them and try and take on board them opportunities and try and get everything sorted out and grasp every single opportunity I'm given moving forward, because I get asked every week, do you want to do this team event, do you want to do this, and I have to say no because I'm doing so many different leagues at the same time. But it's just purely because I want more freedom, I think. There's also the fact that I'm going to be the League of Europe, the TML league director moving forward, so I'm going to be putting more time into that. So yeah, J. Cole, for now I'm leaving League of Europe, but I am hoping to try and stay on, potentially. If you want me back for Season 10, then I might have to reconsider it. If we get a good race like Saudi Arabia, which I know is what Brazil was, I think, last season, or Abu Dhabi, I think it was last season, and I said before, literally before I went live, this is my final commentary. Regardless of what happens, this is going to be my final commentary. And then all hell broke loose and we had a fantastic race in Abu Dhabi last season. So these guys can, and probably will, let me reconsider if they really wanted to. But yeah, it is going to be interesting. Alp saying he always enjoys my commentary. Thank you very much. As I say, every single one of you that has been on this journey with me, I've been commentating for 10 years, believe it or not, on 10 different game cycles, from F1 2012 all the way through to F1 22. I've been commentating on and off, had a period of, 2-3 years between that where I've just been doing the odd events, but apart from that, I've literally put, 10 years of experience, I think, into commentary. And this is where it's got me. Every single opportunity, the likes of WR, the likes of PSGL, these opportunities you can only take for granted, and hopefully that will be the case. Anyways, enough about me. It's not the James Head Show. It is the League of Europe Show. It is Division 1. And we are here on the formation app. It is Campbell from Cucumber. And Cucumber, interestingly, going for a set of medium compound tyres. Campbell, as well as the rest of the field, going into a set of hard compound tyres. There's the predicted pit stop strategy, actually. Lap 11 to 15 on a set of mediums. Not too far, I think, in terms of the game there. And on a set of softs, well, nobody's starting on a set of softs. That's absolutely ludicrous. But on a set of mediums, we'll get to around, I think around lap 9, lap 10 personally, and then make an early pit stop. If Cucumber's 3 seconds clear of Campbell, he will have that buffer time to try and play with, and then go into a set of hards, and then counteract everyone else coming in. Everyone else on a set of hards, they'll be coming in from lap 12, lap 13 onwards. It's a very simple one-stop strategy, very low on tyre wear around here as well, so it should be very easy. But nothing is set in stone in Formula 1. Anything can happen, it probably just might. Cucumber, though, will have to get a good start running down in towards turn number 1. Cucumber there in second. He's on that set of mediums. He's got to absolutely fly, I think, off the line. If he doesn't want to mirror what happened with Alp last week, where he absolutely slept off the start and lost 3 positions nearly in towards turn number 1, then Cucumber has got to think very much quick off the second phase of the start. If he gets wheel spin off the start, and we see Campbell just pull away by 1/10 of a second, that'll be Campbell leading towards turn number 1. That's Matthias in the wall in the background of shot. The AlphaTauri is round already. Doesn't want to be doing that in the race, although I think he might, personally. But Campbell out on top, Cucumber there in second, Matthias there in third. And for my prediction, actually, for my top 3, I'm going to go a little bit rogue and wild and wacky, I think. I'm going to go Campbell for the win. I am going to go Yilbreen for second, and I'm going to go Cucumber for third, with the potential for Nathan to get on the podium further down the field. So there you go. If you have that, then, and if that is the correct prediction later on, Just thank me later if you've had a £5 bet on it. But Campbell out on top, Cucumber in second, and we'll actually watch the lights from Cucumber's perspective. We'll see what a start hill will be like. There's the gantry up the hill. Private Lights Night going out in Division 1, round 15 on the championship, and it's lights out, and away we go, and Campbell gets a very good start. Cucumber a little bit slow off the line, and that will get Campbell into the lead and towards turn number 1. AlphaTauri there storming to the inside line. There's a bit of contact there through turn number 1. Alfa Romeo spun, I think there's J. Cole further down. Russell is already up to 4th. Fantastic start from Nathan. He's actually threaded the eye of the needle there. It was Gary and Yulbring that got caught up in each other. Nathan is already up to 4th. Already flying. Absolutely brilliant start from him. Packer and Gladbach are side by side now coming through turn number 5, and they're still side by side actually through turn number 6 and 7. Now Gladbach and Pease are side by side through turn 8. Pease falls off track. Gladbach is still there. Oh my word. Do not kill each other coming through the corner. Thank you very much. Coming through turn number 13 now. Already Packer trying to make the move on Killer. Tries to look to the inside line. Jekyll on the back of Gladbach as well. Trying to be forced to the outside line. All of this happening further down the field, further up the field. Cucumber's right on the back of Campbell, sliding his way out of 16 and 17. So Campbell leads the way. That second place at the start was so crucial. Campbell got the better start compared to Cucumber. Cucumber just launched up the line well. In the end, the wheel spin cost him. And there, Cucumber now on the back of Campbell. And this is perfect, I think, from Campbell's perspective. Keeps Cucumber in behind. I don't think he'll actually be too bothered if he goes for the overtake now, because Cucumber to the outside line will try and look to get this move. There is Campbell on the inside line. They'll just turn the timing tower off on the left-hand side just for this, as Cucumber now tries to go all the way around the outside. Maybe just switch it back on the inside of 27. Very good battle this, with Matthias having the watchful eye view as well. In behind, the Cucumber should lead in towards turn number 1, and he will, because Cucumber is through down the start finish line, and he's into P1. Campbell there in second, Matthias there in third, Nathan there in fourth, and is already catching on the back of Matthias, looking very quick indeed. Side by side as well, further down the field, and P's gone into the back of Packer. Packer nearly cascades into the side there of Killer there as well, nearly killing Killer, quite literally. Could have been a Killer Queen out on track there, but in the end, more like Don't Stop Me Now from Killer. That was bad, but I don't care. Killer in 9th, Packer in 10th, Pease in 11th, Gladbach in 12th, White and Rocco, Jekyll, all with damage, all in the pit lane, and Pease, I think, has got damage as well. He was absolutely sideways. Coming out turn 8 and 9, and again through turn 11, here's Gladbach taking the full opportunity to the outside line, trying to get the move done to 13. Oh, and that is a beautiful switchback by Gladbach. Absolutely awesome by Gladbach. Beautiful move, gets the job done. He's through and he's into 11. Pease is coming back at him though. Gladbach through and he's into 11. Pease there in 12. Bit of a hectic start early on here in Saudi Arabia. Of course, a week until the King's coronation. And these guys want to be coronated here in Saudi Arabia, of course, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Cucumber leads the way. Campbell there in second. Pease is all over the place again. Coming through there on the right-hander at 23. Now coming up the hill and towards turn 27 once again. The Cucumber currently holding the gap now at 7/10 of a second. All this happening further down the field at this stage. Right, so Rocco J. Cole ideally need a safety car, I think, to get back into contention in this race. Packer's on the back of Killer running down in towards turn number 1 as well. As you can tell, my voice is already going a little bit too hard into the first 2 laps there, James, but Killer 9th, Packer 10th, Gladbach 11th, Pease 11, 12th. Right on board with the back of the leader, and it is Cucumber who leads. Campbell there in second. Cucumber's got more EOS, about 60% more compared to Campbell at this stage. Campbell using up a bit of EOS just to try and stay within a second. But actually, he's pulling away from Matthias, and Matthias now is having to use up, or having to save a bit of EOS. He's doing a phenomenal job at this stage, in the early stages here of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So I think I'm going to sneeze, so apologies if I do in advance. Rick's on the back of Pease in the meantime. He's not liking this early on. He's 12 and 13. He must have damage potentially, or he's just absolutely all over the place. He's got a setup or something, because he looks absolutely not shocking, but he looks all over the place, to be honest. And in 12th, and having to be a second off the pace, and having Rick behind you, not ideal for the man in 12th. Just mute my mic for a second, just to clear my throat. I'll be back in, what, 30 seconds? And I said, Pease was all over the place. He was indeed, because Rick has just gone through on him. He's through and he's into 12, and now we could get a 3 wide possibly in towards turn 1. Gladbach gets a good run on the back of Packer. Good run on the back of Killer as well. Russell's now going for the move down in towards turn 1 on Matthias. Just falls them to the outside line there. Cheeky from the former QVR man. Nathan Spooney's into third. Yeovim's picking up a penalty through turn 1. And we are getting at least 2 wide in towards turn 1. And as Packer all the way around the outside of Killer gets the job done. Killer switches it back though, coming out of 3 and 4. He's on the ERS and he gets the move done around here. This will be brilliant from Killer if he can pull this one off. However, with the way the track is, he was never going to pull that one off, and he's nearly in the wall. That back has to stay in behind him because of that spin. And now they're going to cost each other around a second. And Killer actually lets Gladbach go. The Gladbach Boonies into 10th, Killer there in 11th, and all of those mistakes creeping in. Look at Rick all of a sudden on the back. Rick literally like shot out of a cannon. He's into 11th on the back of Killer, and Killer now is looking pretty much under pressure. He's one man, and he's got one vision, and that vision at the minute is for 12th position. I like that. Cucumber leads. Campbell in second. Russell there in third. Brendan there saying in the chat, if Gary could not crash into anyone like he did with me around this track last season, he should be alright. He's doing a good job. He's there in 6th position, but we're on board with a beautiful helicopter cam with Killer and Rick at this stage. 11th and 12th position. Killer's right on the back of Rick once again at this early stage here in Saudi Arabia. It is such a quick lap. I can't really get through what is going to happen every single lap upon lap. But look at that camera angle. It's one of the best camera angles I think they've introduced on the current Formula 1 game. I hope we get better camera angles moving forward as well. You can play about with your customize your camera settings a lot more. That is what I have, because I have not changed any camera settings on my game, and it's literally all default cameras that we are running with at this stage on this current game cycle. So hopefully we get to see better camera angles and maybe a few nifty camera angles and a few changeable ones as well, just for the benefit of spectators and for the benefit of you guys as viewers. Nathan there in third, Matthias there in fourth, doing a good job at this stage. Matthias there on the back of Nathan, about 6/10 of a second off, coming now down in towards turn 13. They used to have a DRS zone, of course, famously here on the last game on F1 21 before it got rechanged, I think, in a patch update on this game cycle. Yeah. Down in towards 713 used to be there. It was the wrong one. There was a spinner. I think that's Killer round. So Killer there, Ripple round coming out of 13. Down in P12, he's still on the point, which is good. But Cucumber now beginning to get that gap. I'd said if he's ahead by 3 seconds before the pit stop, before lap 9, he could think about coming in for an early pit stop and then benefiting from a big overcut compared to everyone else later on in the race, because everyone's on that set of hards. They're going to be sticking to that same strategy. Verstappen's on the back of Slash running up the hill in towards turn 27 here. Might dive it towards the inside line. In the end though, I think he's going to try and get a very nice exit on control of the corner. Verstappen is on the back of Slash here and looking a lot quicker down the straight. So look at the Alpine speed compared to the McLaren. Is he going to risk this to the inside line? Or is he going to have to go around the outside here? Might have to go around the outside. Verstappen and Slash. Slash is going to give him absolutely no room whatsoever. Verstappen has to force the room on the inside line. Verstappen on the ERS. Bit of a slight twitch there from Slash. And Verstappen's doing his into 7th. And that slight twitch, if it wasn't for that, Slash probably would have remained ahead there. Verstappen doing his into 7th. Slash there in 8th. Good job from him. As Nathan picks up a penalty there in 3rd. That was done, I think, coming out of turn number 11. He's into the pit lane as well, further down the field. He's going on, I believe, to a fresh set of medium compound tyre. Let's have a look. He's into the pit lane now. Is this potentially to retire the car, I wonder? Or is this from wing change? Ah! That's a brilliant camera angle. He's going into a set of softs anyways. That's the wrong pit crew. You've got to love this game sometimes. Papiz out of the pit lane. It was for a front wing change at the end of the day. He's out of the pit lane, and he did have damage, I think, from that little bit of collision. I think maybe in towards turn number 2 on the back of Packer, I think it was. So he might have picked up the damage from there. Matthias though in 4th on the back of Nathan, doing a good job at this stage. And look at the amount of ERS he's got. Matthias has got 79% of ERS. Nathan's got 5. Know where this one's going to go. Matthias is just sitting in behind, waiting as Gladbach and Packer are side by side through the final corner. Mercedes nearly heading towards the pit wall there on the right hand side. I think that's going to be Gladbach through. He's got no ERS though, and Packer's actually got no ERS either, so they're both bombing out down the straight. Gladbach in the end bombs out enough, and he's turning into P9 ahead of Packer, who's very close to the rear wing in towards turn number 1. Goodness me, he was like getting like a overweight person in America trying to go for a McDonald's there in the drive-thru, and they get too close to the window because they want to try and get their food quicker. Gladbach in 9th, Packer there in 10th, Rick there in 11th. If you are one of those people, I apologise for that, because that is just absolutely pure filth on my behalf. There is a yellow flag, there's Pease round again through 22 and 23, so that might be him in the wall. I wonder if he's also front wing there. Let's ride on board. Looks like there's a front wing intact, so I think he's just lost a bit of time and a spin coming through that part of the track, potentially out of 22 and 23. The Cucumber leads the way. Gap is now 3 seconds, pretty much Campbell in second. The gap will begin to now start to iron out slightly. Cucumber's having to use up that EOS. There's a spinner, and that's Killer again round at turn 13. Might be under pressure from Wouter sooner rather than later in this race. Verstappen and Gary are looking interesting as well. Verstappen now getting on the back of Gary at this stage. Looking through the comments, by the way, Montana saying he's going to set up a crowdfunding to try and keep me. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. At the minute, I might be reconsidering, but who knows. Verstappen on the back of Gary in towards turn number 1. The KVR team members are going to go to war in towards turn number 1. But in the end, what is war good for? Absolutely nothing, because nothing happened there. And towards turn number 1, it's Verstappen through and he's into 6th. Gary there through, and he's into 7th. Nice move that by Verstappen. Nice battle as well. Gary's trying to come back at him there, just off camera angle. Right on ball again with battle for 3rd. Nathan and Matthias. It is literally a bit of a war of attrition around a track like this, as Wise is going to go through and Killer in towards turn 1. In fact, he already has done in towards turn 1, so that's Wise through into the points. Killer there in 13th. And remember, of course, these guys have to pit in, so Wouter could technically get his tyres to the end of the race. It's going to be a real push if he does. Oh, and that's Pease in the wall. Pease in the wall. Spins out of 22. That's a guaranteed safety car. It is a safety car. And Pease out of the race, safety car, bringing the field together. And is this good for everyone, or is this not good for everyone? I personally think it is the latter, because Cucumber was pretty much coming toward the end of his tyre life there. He's there in P1, Campbell there in P2, Russell there in P3. Cucumber can get to the end of the set of hards if he pits in now, so it's not too bad, but I don't know, is he going to stay out, I wonder? That's what's going through my head. If he stays out, then he's going to be ahead of Campbell still. No, he's in. So Cucumber into the pit lane. Campbell also into the pit lane. Nathan's trying to back up everyone else in behind. Going to be careful to do so, but everyone's going to be into the pit lane. So everyone looking like they're going to be in the pits here. Nobody, I don't think, is going to risk it out on this set of hard Campana tyres for much longer. Now, medium Campana tyres, for my calculations... Oh, is that Gladbach spins into the pit lane? Gladbach spins on the entrance into the pit lane. He picked up a 5-second speeding penalty for that as well, and he has spun coming into the pit lane. I have never ever seen that before on this game cycle. Gladbach spins, albeit he had no front wing damage there. Luckily for him he didn't, but Gladbach spins into the pit lane wall. And somehow he's got away with it, and somehow still ahead of Packer. Absolutely unbelievable. Incredible. You've in 10 years of league racing, you think you've seen it all. That just tops it. Cucumber leads, Campbell second, Matthias there in 3rd. Bunty saying, what have you missed? Well, Cucumber was trying to get the gap out to 3 seconds. The gap was pretty much on 3 seconds before the safety car came out. Pease crashing the wall, coming out turns 22 and 23. Initially off the start though, Campbell got a fantastic start down and towards turn 1, and he led for pretty much the entirety of the first lap, and I think he did until the start-finish line, where Cucumber just went ahead of him in towards turn 1, and from there, Cucumber just pulled away by about 3 seconds. Now, if Cucumber can maintain that pace, that will be good from his perspective. The set of mediums is probably the better tyre to be on at this stage in the race. But I have a feeling Cucumber's hards, he's going to start dropping down the field. Those tyres will be very cool compared to a set of mediums around here. And later on in the race, I normally say that the set of hards are better around here, just because of their tyre wear a little bit later on in the race. And they are. Cucumber's got to realise that. But in the end, Campbell in second. He's on that fresh set of medium Campana tyres. And he's there in second position. And Bunty also missed, by the way, that I potentially could be leaving at the end of the season as a commentator here on League of Europe. Montana saying, oh, I am off to the lottery now. Terrible. Lasker saying in the chat, you'll bring the smash that boy. And Nolan in the chat, Montana, no offence, but betting on the safety car when Pease is racing is like betting on the sun to rise. It always happens. Every single race, it always happens. Rick Slash and Paco, however, back in the pit lane. Salahard's going on. Fresh Salahard's going on for all three of them. Not a bad call. Not a bad call. They maybe heard me potentially saying that the Salahards is better around here. I know for a fact they are. Mediums only last around 8 or 9 laps, so Cucumber is going to live above hope that he's not further down the field. If he's down in 6th or 7th, come to lap 2021, he's in trouble. He will not be getting the race win if he does that. But if he's got the pace and maintains that pace with Campbell will be on the back when we're pressurising him, but Cucumber could manage the race lead. And would Campbell really want to go for the race lead when he's got his number? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah. Safety cars are guaranteed around this track. I normally haven't actually seen many safety cars around here in the past. Now, TML is completely different, where we see about 5 safety cars every single race. Normally around here, that's just because of the driving standards from some drivers at least, but yeah, it is going to be interesting. A little bit of an update actually on that. If you are above hope going to be joining TML, we're going to be, if you've been banned, if you've been disqualified from the league or just put on the block list, we're unblocking you. We're going to start clean fresh slate on F123, so if you do want to sign up for TML, you can do. And that is going to be, well, sign-ups are going to open when the game comes out, but I'm already in planning mode for what the calendar is going to look like and what new rules are going to be put in place, including a new point system and a new sprint point system as well, which is going to be the headline, really, of some of the announcements. However, Cucumber is now the virtual Bellbalander. He's now the virtual safety car. Campbell there in second, Matthias there in third. And now Campbell's got to sit underneath the rear wing of Cucumber. If he wants this race lead, he goes for it immediately. And then try and gap out Cucumber to a second. Rudy did also get a puncture last corner. May Swollen and Stride on unblocking me as scenes I live for. Unfortunately, Nolan, I'm league director now, so it is me that's unblocking everyone. So there you go, you've got a fresh, clean slate. However, Campbell on the back of Cucumber. And look at Cucumber, oh my word, so close. And actually, that was a bit dangerous, if I've got to be honest there, from Campbell. From Cucumber on the back of Campbell there. In towards turn 1 we go. Cucumber leads, Campbell in second with Tyson in third. I'm not a fan of that race start whatsoever. That could have been done a lot cleaner. Gary and Verstappen, the side by side. Slash has picked up a 3-second penalty. I think he went straight on, maybe at turn number 1 there. Gary's through on Whiter. Whiter's getting absolutely ate up by a chicken. Whiter there. Under pressure, there's a spinner. Gary's in the wall. Gary in the wall. Verstappen in the wall as well. He'd spun. Not sure if there was a bit of desync there between them both. But we move as Cucumber still leads. Campbell there in second. Matthias there in third. Russell there in fourth. Yildirim there in fifth. Whiter, Gladbach, Killer. J. Colin, Rocco top 10, Rick Slash Packer, Gary and Verstappen. Gary unfortunately got caught up in that instant. He's got no front wing. Verstappen has got a bit of damage, I think, on the left side end plate as well. And he is down towards the back end of the field as well. But yeah, Matthias is P4. He had a really good qualifying session. Yeah, he had a fantastic qualifying session. So far so good from his perspective. So far so good from Campbell as well, because Cucumber leads the way. Campbell there in second, Matthias there in third. Campbell again, looking on the back of Cucumber, coming now through the final couple of corners. Well, Campbell, under pressure, potentially, as Nathan's getting closer here to the back of Matthias. I think straight line speed that Nathan's carrying compared to Matthias. He's absolutely gunning this into the final corner. And now he's going to go maybe for the moving towards turn 1, and Matthias is just going to have to sit there, maybe wait, or is he going to try and relax and try and defend this? I think he's going to defend this in towards turn number 1. Nathan in the end not interested. Gladbach is interested around the outside of Router and towards turn number 1, but not close in quite getting the move done. Cucumber, Campbell currently the top 3 at this stage. Doing a good job at this stage. And Nolan saying in the comment section, what a good wings we've had here. 50-50 wings. There you go. Cucumber don't even run that. Do not even run that, because you'll probably hate me if you do that. But Cucumber leads, Campbell second, Matthias in third, Russell there in fourth, Yildirim there in fifth, and also a battle game going for this sixth position, because White is holding everyone up in behind. Gladback, Killer and J. Cole 7th, 8th and 9th, but the Hards are currently holding on to their pace. They're holding on to their grip, which is good. Killer under pressure though from J. Cole. He is looking on the back there, in towards, oh, and there's a move actually in towards just ahead through 22 and 23, that's Gladback through on Whiter. Nice move that, down the straight, using him a bit of EOS to get that job done. But Gladback has got the job done, he's into 6th, Whiter 11-7, and we could potentially get at least 2 wide into the final corner, because J. Cole is screaming on the back of Killer, looks to the inside line, Killer forced into a leg break. J. Cole might get the run on the exit of the corner, but he's not going to quite get the job done out of 27. The DRS is now enabled once again onto lap 13 out of 25. Halfway through here in Jeddah. If you are enjoying this stream, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell if you're brand new to the channel. And at the moment in time, Cucumber leads the way from Campbell in second, and Matthias has made a mistake there slightly as Gary's left the session further down the field. Gary leaving the session there, not sure if that was a disconnect. Maybe somebody has pulled the plug out early in terms of his race chances. But Nathan, this first sector, as I mentioned in qualifying, he is not good through the first sector as Nathan. Through the final sector, he was absolutely awesome, and he was right on the back of him through turn 1 and 2. But Russell now in 4th has got to try and apply that pressure. Nathan now in 4th has got to try and apply that pressure. By the way, if you are wondering the penalties at this stage, Nathan has got a penalty, 3 seconds, Yildirim on 3, Gladback on 5, and Killer on 3 as well. As it stands, Ferrari, both Ferraris ahead of Mercedes. They are currently outscoring Mercedes by a few points out on track as well. So, looking good, I think, from a Ferrari perspective in terms of the constructors at this point as well, going into the final 2 rounds. Oh, excuse me. Cucumber, Campbell, top 2. Tyson Russell there, 3rd and 4th. Nathan there doing a good job with that 3-second penalty overhanging him. He is going to be coming back to bite him. Oh, is that? I'm not sure if Campbell hit the wall there. That was just a bit of a slight slide coming through the final corner. Regardless, though, he's going to take the race lead. Campbell, whatever happened there, I'm going to ride on board with that on the replay, because I was on board with that and I just didn't look at the right time. Let's see, I think he had a slide coming through the final corner. And no, he was just a little bit sideways. It's okay. Campbell leads the way. Cucumber second, Matthias there in 3rd. Thought he had a much bigger slide than what he actually did do in the end. But Campbell leads the way. Cucumber in second, Matthias there in 3rd. Doing a good job at this stage. And of course, next week it is the King's Coronation. 2 weeks time it is Eurovision, and we are in Brazil for that week's Eurovision. And I hope people can forgive me on that Eurovision week that I might have to go a little bit early with it being hosted in the UK. Flags et al. Are at the ready. Campbell leading the way. Cucumber though in 2nd. Matthias there in 3rd. And Cucumber now, because Campbell's got ahead of him, this is what Campbell should have done, I think, off the restart. Off the safety car restart. Just applied the pressure to Cucumber. Cucumber's tyres, though, because they're so speedy around this track, they run at an average speed, I think, around here on this game, of about 165, 170 mile an hour. They are going to be running, absolutely tearing those, tearing that absolutely apart in terms of the tyres, as Nathan's going to go for a move on Matthias. Matthias in the end, been playing a little bit of a game there, maybe the DRS game. And that's exactly what he's done, because Nathan is now out of that DRS. But in the end, pulls away and uses his battery, and the Ferraris now, go time for the Ferraris. Did this perfectly in Netherlands, and they do it once again in Saudi Arabia. Let's wait and see. Killer on the back of Wouter and towards turn number 1, not getting quite close enough. Everyone just running a bit of a line astern, bit of a mistake though actually from Killer through turn number 1, and J. Cole's going to take full advantage of that, now running side by side through turns 2 and 3 into the left-hander turn number 4, but in the end Killer just about hangs on, gets caught on the inside curve there, didn't hit the wall, got caught on the inside curve. J. Cole could go around the outside of here, he would have been absolutely committing himself to an early grave. He's still on the back of Killer. Killer's absolutely all over the place. Just get through, man. Let him through. For goodness sake, you're all over the shop. J. Cole through. And he's into 8th. Killer there down into 9th. And that was easy in the end from J. Cole. Killer absolutely all over the shop. And he's all over the shop again because he spun through 13. That was inevitable. He was losing heat in those tyres. Losing control of the car at the time. And Killer round Verstappen now ahead. Killer there down in 14th. Campbell leads the way. 10 laps to go after this lap completed. With the greenery underneath the grandstands here. But look at Nathan now beginning to get into contention. In third. Matthias and Gilbert are in this DRS train as well. It's actually 5 for the lead at this stage in this race. If it gets tactical in front, it will not get tactical in behind, because I think drivers will just want to try and get the move. Gilbert and Matthias especially. Matthias is the one now struggling on the back of these guys. Barely within DRS range running down the straight. Nathan, you can see on the battery trying to gain every ounce running towards turn 1. Cucumber was on the back of Campbell, but in the end Campbell does not want to break in hard, and Cucumber there in second, doing a good job. Nathan there in third as well, but it is going to get once again in towards the realms of Ferrari Masterclass. If we are getting a Ferrari Masterclass here, it's going to be around now as Killer retires in the pit lane. So from being stood up from a date last week, he retires in the pit lane this week in Saudi Arabia. What next week? Lightning going to strike 3 times? Who knows? Killer in 14th. Gary in 15th. Gary will now be ahead of him. His car, of course, is in AI, I believe, still. Yes, it is. There's Gary's AI going round. He might have gone for an early point to Guinness, one would expect, I think, out on track. Campbell leading. Cucumber second. Russell there in third. Hope you were all doing well, by the way, in the chat. You've gone quiet on me. This is going to be a very fascinating final 8.5 laps here in Saudi Arabia. And looking through, Nolan saying you can't sweat with Alex sat next to me telling me how teeth work. Okay, interesting. How do teeth work? They're just nom and chew and whatever else, I suspect. Don't even answer that. Do not even answer that. I'm just getting to my full sense there. As Jacob's on the back of Wouter. In toward the left-hand turn 27. Looks the outside line. On the back of Wouter. Wouter in the end in 7th. Jacob there in 8th, doing a good job. But now Wouter is going to absolutely sail on by on the back of Wouter here in towards turn number 1. Jacob should be through, and he is through. Down the straight. Through towards turn number 1. We saw Cucumber getting very close to the back of Campbell there. In the end, Campbell hanging on. Cucumber in second. And this is the point where in the tyre life where the mediums begin to go. Cucumber's sitting very pretty, I've got to say, on 43% of ERS. If Nathan wants to think about potentially pulling off a 1-2 for Ferrari, he's got to save on that ERS. He has got to save on that ERS, and he's getting closer, and he should save on this ERS now, because if not, he's not going to have enough speed down the straights. He's only quicker, I think, in 7th or 8th gear. And coming out through in towards 16 and 17, and he taps the wall, and that is one mistake you do not want to be making from Nathan's perspective. That's put him now completely on the back foot. Bunty, by the way, saying in the chat, the night to forget for the Red Bulls. Yeah, Killer out the race. Gary disconnecting at the session as well. Completely a night to forget at this stage. Cucumber on the back of Campbell once again. 40% of ERS. Campbell on 33. Campbell's got the better ERS, I think, at this stage compared to Cucumber in the longer term. Shorter term, however, it might be different. But this is fascinating. Still 5 for the lead. Gladbach not getting into contention. J. Cole nowhere near either at this early stage in the race. But it is a very, very good and interesting tactical affair now with 7 laps to go out on track. Campbell, Cucumber, and then Russell there in P3. Bunty also saying in the chat, if Nathan can pass Cucumber and stick close to Campbell, maybe Campbell can stay ahead of Cucumber despite the old mediums. That's what I mentioned earlier on, I think, under the safety car, where they could pull off the 1-2. If they pull off that 1-2 strategy, it'd be brilliant, I think, from their perspective. Cucumber and, Campbell and Nathan would do a fantastic job. They proved last week how good they work together as a team. That team advantage is going to be there. Remember, Mercedes are going to be out of the constructors fight just because they've only got one driver in this race, once again with Gladbach, and he's only picking up the points for Mercedes. So Ferrari at the stage with that public finish, as I think I've just muted my mic slightly, so give me a second. I made a mistake once again, sorry about that. Nolan saying in the chat as well, Lewis let Nathan keep the win last week. Nathan owes him one. Yeah, fair play. Fair digs on that one. Yeah, I totally agree with that, to be fair. It could be the fact that they're working together, and that could be Campbell getting the race win. Nathan, though, because he's quicker in 7th and 8th gears, he is closing up to the back of Cucumber. He's going to be saving that ERS, though. He is in trouble. Oh, as they actually falls to the inside line, they're pulling off a bit of a 2-for-1. Campbell backs up Cucumber into the back of Nathan. Nathan, though, because of his lack of EOS, he can't get close. And look at him, he's been wasted down the straight. Cucumber now is responding. And now, all of a sudden, this race has burst into life. Cucumber ran the outside of turn number 1. Campbell holds the lead, just about. Nathan trying to get the up and under. He's much quicker through the corners on the exit. Bit of a tap on the wall on the left-hand side. But if they want to try and orchestrate something, 13, maybe the best opportunity. 16 and 17, another opportunity's there. But if they do this too often, this is the problem around doing this at a track like Saudi Arabia. If they do this at a track like Saudi Arabia, as Nathan's gone off again, takes the escape road on the right-hand side, just about. If they do that too often, Campbell backs up Cucumber, lap upon lap upon lap. Matthias is going to be let in for sure, Yildirim's going to be let in for sure, and Gladbach's not going to be entirely out of this either. So that is the cost and the risk that they're going to have to run at. They've got to run the risk for rewards out on track. If Yildirim picked up another 3-second penalty, so you can count him with the penalties out at this stage. Yeah, Nathan did use up his EOS with Cucumber, but look at Cucumber, how fast he can bring that battery back. 44% of EOS. Campbell's on 30. He's using it up down the straight here, and I wonder if they're going to try and orchestrate something again. Judging by the first time it didn't work, but look at Cucumber's speed. This is going to have to be orchestrated again. Cucumber's speed is absolutely unbelievable down the straight, and actually, he's going to have to go side by side with him, whether he likes it or not. Nathan is not there to back him up, and Cucumber did not get DRS there. Very strange. They were both side by side into the DRS detection points. They both didn't get DRS, but regardless, Cucumber now hits the front. Campbell there in second. Nathan there in third. Whitey through on Jay Cullen towards turn number 1 as well. Packer's coming quick at Rickard towards turn 1, but not getting quite close into that part of the track. The Cucumber leading. Campbell there in second. Brendan there saying in the chat, is Nathan trying to be Nicholas Longday this race? Perhaps. Perhaps, and yeah, I mean, he's in a Ferrari. The Ferraris have done around here before in WR with Longay, of course. But Campbell in second, Nathan there in third. Nathan needs to get saving in terms of his EOS. This is the only thing that can save the Ferrari 1-2, I think. Campbell, he's having to fight hard on those tyres, but now the crossover period's coming between the hards and the mediums. These mediums are only going to start to begin to drop off. So Cucumber's picked the right strategy actually at this stage in the race. Whether or not it's on the right strategy come 25 laps remains to be seen. But regardless, final 5 laps. It is going to be very, very interesting indeed. Montana saying in the chat, apparently he got DRS but it didn't show on stream. Another glitch on behalf of our Codemasters. Jay Cole on the back of Wouter as well. Running now towards turn 27 once again. Battle for 7th and 8th. This is a good battle actually between 7th and 8th, even though Jay Cole is a little bit behind in terms of the penalties. Wouter there on fresh. He's going to have to try and fight this, but in the end, no fight given. Jay Cole through on the back of Wouter. Nice swapping positions once again. Through, and he's into 7th. And Wouter there down into 8th. Yeah, Campbell, Cucumber, Cucumber, Campbell, Nathan, Matthias, Gilbert still the top 5 here out on track. 2 Ferraris versus a Cucumber, and the Cucumber wins this Ferrari things. I honestly had to look at myself there and look at that emoji because I didn't actually think that was a Cucumber, but in the end it was. Terrible. Cucumber though, look at the gap, it's beginning to pull away. 7/10 of a second. Campbell now. He's in. He could be in as Rickard spun coming through turn 13. Campbell is he's in a bit of a you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't sort of scenario, I think, at this stage. Cucumber leading the way. Campbell is damned if he uses EOS, because he's going to have less EOS compared to Cucumber regardless at the end of this race. But he's also damned if he doesn't, because he's on all the tyres. And because he is closing within the DRS, it's not entirely out of prospect that Campbell could take this race win. And again, apologies about my mic. I'm going to quick. Apologies, the sound was just going in my ear once again. Second time I've done that tonight. Loose connection, maybe. I'm sitting on my connection, so there we are. Cucumber leads, Campbell second, Nathan in third. Are we going to get Wouter again on pass on Jekyll? Yes, we are. To the inside line and towards someone. Jekyll just backs off. Actually, Thuni's into 7th. They're having a very good fight, I've got to say, the guys for 7th and 8th. Doing a phenomenal job. And again, J. Cole tries to get him out of turn number 2. Not quite close enough out of turn 2. Cucumber, though, doing a good job. Wouter now picking him a 3-second penalty. That's further down the field. I think that's the second one of the night, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a run down on the penalties. Rick's in the pit lane. Must have picked up front wing damage. That is actually Wouter's first penalty. It's Yildirim that's picked up 2, sorry. So, Nathan on 3, Yildirim on 6 seconds, Gladbach on 5, Speed in the pit lane. That will get removed, I believe. So, I think that 5-second penalty will get removed if that is the case. Nathan's now just put his total up to 6, because he's just invalidated again through 16 and 17. Got the curve on the inside. Yildirim on 6, as I mentioned, Gladbach on 5, Wouter on 3, J. Cole 3, and Slash on 3. At this stage of the race, Campbell, though, having to try and use up every ounce of what the potential champion has got. At the minute, he's only going to be losing 7 points to Cucumber, and he'll still have an 18-point gap as it stands. Campbell, though, could do with winning and pulling ahead of Cucumber by 32 points. And if he does, then who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Cucumber leading the way, Campbell in 2nd, Nathan there in 3rd, Matthias in 4th, Yildirim there in 5th, and a bit deep there from Campbell. First sign of a little bit of pressure being applied, I think, from his own self, from his own mentality, I think. That was just a slight mistake. It's cost him 2 tenths per second. And again now, it's put him on the back foot at this stage in the race. Division 2 and Division 4, by the way, are live in about half an hour's time, so if you do want to catch the action there, I believe it is going to be Verstappen and J. Cole taking to the action, and for Division 4 I believe it's going to be, sorry, Packer and Verstappen for D4, and then for D2 it's J. Cole and Killer, sorry. Goodness me, I'm getting mixed up with last year's commentary line up there. But Cucumber leads, Campbell in 2nd, and look at the gap. Beginning to pull away, Cucumber's beginning to force that EOS, he's got quicker wings, quicker down the straight as well. Campbell's having to use a bit of extra battery, and has Cucumber just got him outside of a second? No, Campbell got him back within a second there. Coming through the DRS detection point, there it is! And he's within DRS range, just about within DRS range. But look, he's not using any EOS down the straight. Cucumber's put him under pressure. Campbell had to dive to the inside line. He's luckily just got DRS again. But this is now looking like a one-horse pony, a one-trick pony out on track. Penultimate lap of the race. No safety cars, no VSCs in this race to come. Final 2 laps begin, and Cucumber now, we normally see the driver in 2nd coming back on the final lap. I think with Campbell's tyres, I don't think he is going to come back. It's 9 tenths of a second. Cucumber's now beginning to stretch. And the Aston Martin has done this strategy call absolutely brilliantly. Some of you might have laughed. I certainly was thinking he's not going to get the strategy call right. But in the end, how the race has worked out, this has been a very, very good strategy call. Matthias picks up a 3-second penalty. Matthias picks up a 3-second penalty, and he's under pressure from Yildirim. So this is bad news for Matthias. If he wants, he can stay within 3 seconds. But look at the blister going through the back left tyre, and the back right, in fact, for that matter as well. Matthias' tyres are shot. Absolutely shot. Yildirim there, on his front right, certainly, it's not looking too bad. On the rears, there's a blister going through the middle of the tyres, but it's not too bad again. But here comes Yildirim on the back of Matthias. And there's only going to be one way. Oh, I thought Yildirim was going to go for the move, but he doesn't in the end. Cucumber's away from Campbell. It looks set in stone for the battle for the win. But it doesn't set in stone for the battle for 4th, because Matthias and Yildirim now. Matthias is losing pace. Is he going to pick up a puncture on the final lap of the race? Yildirim now with Thuni's into 4th. Matthias has done a fantastic job in this race, but Yildirim, after qualifying a little bit further down the field, he's up to 4th, has done a fantastic job. Nathan, though, might be going for driver of the day here, certainly. Gladbach is looking for a vote for driver of the day, and actually Matthias is coming back at him in towards turn number 1. And I thought he was going to wait until the final couple of corners, but in the end he goes now. Matthias Thuni's into 4th again. Yildirim in 5th. Gladbach with a penalty now. That's further down the field. He's in 6th position, picking up another penalty out on track. Fascinating end to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Nathan catching Campbell as well slightly all of a sudden. But Cucumber, the battle for the lead has gone. Cucumber has gone. 1.5 seconds out in front. He's checking out. His tyres are better towards the end of the race. Yilbrim's coming back at Matthias again towards turn 13. Matthias and Yilbrim having a very, very good battle out on track, these guys. Yilbrim clearing his into fourth, Matthias there in fifth. Whoever comes out on top will be the final man to be on the drive of the day. It'll be Nathan, it'll be one of these two, and it'll be Gladbach. Who on earth's going to get it remains to be seen. Cucumber in towards 22 and 23 for the final time. On the final two, through the final sector. On to the final lap of the race. Matthias is coming back at Yilbrim once again through turn 22 and 23. Been a fantastic race from this perspective. Cucumber's going to cross the line. Is Matthias going to have to lunge at Yilbrim as if he's never lunged a move before and towards turn 27? In the end, he can't pull it off. But Cucumber on the run to the line wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Campbell there in second. Nathan there in third, and Yilbrim is the man that's going to be taking the driver of the day vote, along with Gladbach and along with Nathan. In the end, actually, Matthias is ahead of him because of penalties, so Matthias is the one in the end that gets the vote. Yilbrim there in fifth, Packer there in sixth, Gladbach in the end. So far down the field, he finished across the line behind Matthias in fifth. I think he's definitely worthy of a driver of the day vote. Packer in the end getting 6 positions. As a result, we wait for the final drivers to come across the line, Rick and Gary. It's only Rick we're waiting on to come across the line. But yeah, Cucumber wins, Campbell second, Nathan there in third. Big, big race there from the three of them. And Cucumber closed the gap now to 18 points in terms of the battle for the title. And both of them, I can now officially say, I believe at least, are now overtaking Sally in terms of the championship. Great race though. Great race from that perspective. Without the pen from Matthias, that's a penalty, yeah. Totally agree. Alpine of Packer gets drive of the day. What about the in-game fans? But it is Cucumber out on top. In the end, just fresher tyres towards the end of the race. The set of hards were always going to be better towards the end of the race, and it's exactly played out how I expected it to. The final 3 or 4 laps of the race, Campbell's tyres started to go. Cucumber now entered that realm of impossibility, that realm of possibility for him to get that move. And in the end, pulled away by a good 2.5, 2 seconds. Campbell in the end, and Nathan, Ferrari 1-2 last week, a 2-3 this week. Still will outscore Mercedes though in terms of the championship. A great race though from Cucumber. He takes the race win out on track. But here we go. This is the final grid order for tonight. It is Cucumber out on top from Campbell there in second. Fussell there in third. Nathan from Matthias in fourth. Yilbrim there in fifth. Packer there in sixth. Whiter in seventh. Rockwell there in eighth. J. Cole there in ninth. Gladbach in 10th. And Slash in 11th. Verstappen in 12th. Rick in 13th. And Gary, Killer and Pease. 16 drivers. 14 of them finishing 1 under AI. Of course, that was Gary, Killer and Pease retiring. One of them out on track. One of them in the pit lane. Rick as well, getting the fastest lap point to steal as well off the potentialness of, who would have it been? Of Cucumber, actually. Cucumber had the second fastest lap, I think, along with Wouter, so we stole the fastest lap off them along with Gladbach as well. So, there we are. But we will try and get the top 3 in. Now, if Nathan didn't leave the party last week, we would have easily got a top 3 party with all of us in. But no, because Mr. Nathan has decided to leave that, I'm going to hop party. So I'm in party by myself in the minute, so I'm going to hop a party. People will suddenly hear me in the game. Hello to the people that are tuning in there. But is the party from last week. They will probably think, oh my word, he's quick in getting the invites out to the party. But yeah, we will now get as well Nathan into this, and then we'll go for the top 3 interviews once again. We could have just saved the party for last week, but goodness me. Fantastic result though, I think, from the top 3 perspective. And in the end, a great win from Cucumber. And in the end, the set of hards just fresher compared to Campbell on that set of mediums. And in the end, that Ferrari 1-2, that little bit of a pull-off in terms of the gap where Campbell backed up Cucumber in the end, not really a piece of genius. The Aston Martin saw what was coming. They didn't attempt it again because they knew they were going to be under pressure. And in the end, is the man, the Canadian, who comes out on top. And we can speak to him now. It is Mr. NSX Cucumber. And Cucumber, in the end, pushed all the way to the line by Campbell. But in the end, the Hards come out on top.
Yeah, it was, man, it was a nail biter. I gotta say, hats off to Montana. I mean, he was in the party with me, and he made a last-minute call. After call, he's like, I think go to mediums. I think it's going to be a safety car. I was a bit hesitant. I'm usually always hard to medium type of guy, but I said, screw it. You know, Montana's been in these situations plenty of times, so I took his word, and my God, it paid off. After I saw a safety car, I was like, holy shit.
I know, and I mean, he's not a four-time League of Europe Division 1 champion for anything, is he? He is an absolute goat in terms of the strategy calls. Talk us through that safety call, because it came out at a really weird time, I think. It was lap 8, lap 9, I think it came out, and in terms of the strategy calls, were you always fearful that the mediums were not going to get to the end of the race, and that's what you were expecting, like an early safety car?
Yeah, the plan was, like I said, mediums. We're hoping for a safety car, honestly, around like 8 or 12, and it happened. I knew the mediums would be pretty shot at the end, maybe puncture. I'm not sure if anyone did. Even my tires were on the high tire wear scale, so I knew their tires must have been busted. But once I saw it, I knew I had to stay in the DRS to Campbell. That was crucial, and we did. And then I saw Nathan climbing his way up the field, and he was on my rear end, so I had to apply pressure to Campbell to keep him behind. But yeah, it was a tight one, but we managed.
It was a tight one, and obviously the Ferraris try to pull off their usual tactic of backing you up into a box coming in towards turn 27. You obviously realised that, and you were coy to go for the move and just get ahead of Campbell. That was the decisive point, really, in that race where that move was pulled. Did you think they would come back at you and they would work together, even though they were running, especially on Nathan's end, running in low ERS?
Yeah, Montana was telling me they were pretty low on the battery, and I saw, I don't know which lap, but yeah, Campbell kind of went slow into the final corner, and I was like, okay, they're going to start doing their tactics. It's time for me to, you know, let the pace go and try to break out, which I managed, and I knew every lap I'm getting faster, they're getting slower, so I had a good amount of battery, they didn't, so Montana said just drain it all on the lap, and I managed to get like 9/10 second going into the next lap into the first sector, and from the first sector, which is all grip, I knew I could pull a couple tenths on Campbell, and then from there it was just managing, because I had 2 warnings, so I had to be really careful.
Yeah, and you had to manage that very, very much so out on track, and you did to absolute good effect. Belgium, of course, a completely different track next week. How do you think you're going to get on around there? Is it a track that you like?
It is. I do like Belgium. I haven't driven it in a bit, so I'm going to have to put some time into it a little bit, but I think overall it should be good. A lot of overtaking, just like Jeddah, and yeah, it should be fun.
It should be fun indeed, and we return, of course, to the track that looks like a dinosaur, and the track, of course, that is most famous for the bus stop chicane, and of course Les Combes, and all of those in between as well. But Cucumber, go and enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome indeed. We will now move on to the man who still is now officially championship leader, because he was 2 points behind Sully coming into tonight. He's now officially championship leader. Playing second fiddle though, it is Campbell. And Campbell, in the end, medium compound tyres. You wished that the race was only 21 laps, because you had him up until then.
Yeah, I'm frustrated with a lot of things that happened in that race, to be honest. But yeah, it's annoying. I knew the tyres were never going to be great at the end, but you can't. Oh, last time we raced here, I gambled on a second safety and got very fortunate. So I had to gamble the mediums would stretch, and well, they did in this case, but they weren't quick enough at the end, and you've seen that. But the second Cucumber got by, he flew away. So yeah, but I feel like the safety car was even a lap or 2 later. It's a different story, but Pace can't keep out the wall more than, you know. So that just happens, and well, I guess you got to consider that into your strategy most weeks now, which is a bit frustrating because, well, the slower strategy won today, which is the sad part.
Yeah, it is the sad part. I mean, it's Formula 1 for a reason at the end of the day, and obviously with strategies and everything like that, it's just finding out the best one. And obviously Cucumber going on that set of mediums, I was thinking that honestly, if we didn't get a safety car, he probably would drop down the field. That safety car came out at the worst possible time, I think, for the strategy calls, even on set of hards as well. Talk us through what happened actually underneath that safety car restart. Did you think it was a bit of a dangerous restart? Because I certainly mentioned that in commentary.
Actually, yeah, a little bit. I don't think it was anything really malicious, but I did feel like that he went then stopped and then went again and got a bigger gain off the initial restart, but yeah, half a lap later I was back really that close again because of the tyre advantage, so it probably isn't that much and it wouldn't do much for me, but it's annoying, yeah. Safety car couldn't be more timed. It was, as I think Cucumber said, it was the start of the perfect pit window for him to come out on lap 8. And yeah, it's almost typical that, you know, one of the only drivers in the field to do it is Cucumber, and the safety car falls in his way.
Yeah, and yeah, I've mentioned in commentary about that safety car restart. It seemed like, it didn't seem malicious, but it seemed a little bit dangerous, is what I think I said, and it certainly seemed that way because I think just before he went, you actually nearly ran into the back of him, which is where I said it was a little bit dangerous. It was a bit like Mugello, I think, the start there in real life. Of course, you're now the championship leader, going ahead of Selly. Both of you are now separated by 18 points going into the final 2 rounds. How is the mental strength going into the final 2 rounds? With that sprint as well in Brazil, is the pressure on, or is the pressure just slightly off for 1 week more?
Well, this is the first time I've led the title this season, so I feel the pressure's probably wrong, because, well, I haven't been in this position. I'm only here because Selly stopped racing, so I know I can hopefully just limit the loss. Obviously, beating Cucumber today would have been huge. It would have the gap up to 30, or right around about 30, so that would have been nice, but 18 points over a Spa, and then Brazil with a sprint. I gotta do what I can. Out qualifying was good today. I need to do that next week, and probably Brazil as well, to give me a chance, because I feel like in the race I'm not strong, so I need to out qualify to have a chance, and then have things fall my way with other people on the track crashing and whatever. So
yeah, hopefully be given a backhand to Pease potentially to crash in Brazil. That'll be very worthy.
Me, rather than against me.
I hope it does. I hope it does. I really hope it does. Of course, Belgium is to come before Brazil. How do you think you're going to get on around there? Because it is a track that you have done well at in the past.
Yeah, I think I've done well, but I've done equally awful at times as well, so I really don't know how it's going to go. I've had tracks this game, like Zandvoort, for example, I didn't expect it to be great, and obviously the nice result there, and then other tracks, I think Singapore was one I feel like I could have been a lot better at, and we didn't finish the race, so I got caught in another accident, so yeah, I have no idea how it will go, James, but I'll give it a shot, I guess, for the situation I'm in.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do. You can give it a shot, try your best, and hopefully it'll be a good night for you next week in Belgium. Go and enjoy Evening.
Thank you.
You are very welcome indeed. We'll now move on to the man who finished in P3. Is it the same top 3 as well as last week? I think it is.
It's just reversed.
It's just reversed. It is just reversed. It is Mr. G. Russell, or otherwise known as Nathan, of course. And Nathan, talk us through that race, because it was a little bit of a weird one in terms of the Ferrari strategy. You were running 1-2 for a little bit of a while. You put Cucumber under pressure as a result of that bit of a box. Did everything go to plan, or do you think you could have got more out the race?
I mean, after quali, I didn't expect to be higher than P5 at the end. But obviously, the start, I think people just tripped over each other. And then, yeah, I mean, as soon as obviously got the start, we were like, okay, the plans kind of changed, because initially I was just going to pit like lap 10 and just go for a huge undercut and try and be a nuisance, and then there was a safety car, so that was amazing. But yeah, it was just a case that, well, we saw obviously Matt didn't really have the pace to keep with Cucumber and Lewis, but obviously had to get past him, but at the same time he was being a little rascal and using all his ERS, so that didn't help. And so obviously got back in the DRS of Campbell and Cucumber, and then yeah, there wasn't really much we could do. Like, it was only a case of we either slow Cucumber down to a crawl and then try something, or just try and hope he makes a mistake or something. And yeah, it was always going to be a tough game, especially with like Jewel Broom and Matt right behind. I think if like they weren't behind, then like you can kind of take more risks, but with more cars around you, you can't really like risk like 3 cars having an incident or like trying to do stuff around others.
Yeah, and certainly you tried that strategy, I think, once and then didn't try it again because it was unsuccessful coming through the final 2 corners. But in the end, Ferrari had a very good night still. 2nd and 3rd position. Gladbach, of course, dropped down the field, I think, to 10th in the end. So outscoring Mercedes once again. It looks like pretty much certain that you've got one hand potentially on that Constructors' Trophy right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think reserves get points for the constructors. So I think, like, unless Jensen makes I don't know, unless he reappears, I think we might have already won it, because I have a feeling reserves don't score points for their constructor. So, yeah, I think after Belgium it will definitely be confirmed. But yeah, just happy to be on the podium again. I've never really been on the podium this much, but I'm just gonna put it down to my new account.
No, do you know what? It's since we got rid of Mark in the commentary box. Mark's gone, you're now suddenly getting podiums every single week.
It gives me bad omens.
Bad vibes,
Yeah.
I think, Mark. No wonder he's in Division 3 and he's being demoted alongside Jets. But still, of course, Belgium next week. The full focus, of course, is wrapping up that Constructors, I'm absolutely sure. But in terms of your title hopes as well, how do you think you're going to get on around Belgium? Because, again, like Campbell, it's a track that you've done well at, and it's a track that you've been bad at as well.
Yeah, I've won there in D1, and then I've retired in the pit lane in another D1 race. So, yeah, it's very 50-50. I've got 100% record on this account, spanning over, like, 3 seasons, so... in terms of podiums, so yeah, let's say a podium, but the main focus is obviously get Lewis to extend the gap, because Brazil's going to be difficult to figure everything out, especially with the sprint. So yeah, just get through Belgium, see what the gap is, and then yeah, just kind of look at Brazil really. But yeah, I don't know. If I don't retire, I'm happy at Belgium. So yeah, that's my prediction.
Well, you're only 14 points as well off Alp in 4th position. In
he can't start his car. I'm beating him.
He normally doesn't anyways. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in Belgium? But regardless, go and enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much for comms.
You are very welcome indeed, and that rounds us up very neatly for League of Division 1. In about 7.5 minutes time it will be Division 2 and Division 4, so if you do want to catch all the action there, you can do on the channel. It's going to be, hang on a minute, it's going to be J. Colin Killertain through the action for Division 2, and Packer and Verstappen, I believe, taking through the action for Division 4, so you can watch that in just a second, and hopefully we do have some really good racers out on track as well in Saudi Arabia, in the Kingdom, on the Jeddah Corniche circuit. We are going to end off here though for Division 1. Thank you all for tuning in. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new on the channel. The James Head retirement tour continues into Belgium Grand Prix next week as well, so we will see you there once again. So for myself and from everyone here in the comment box, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.